You're on the air with Florenza, your podcast destination for authentic conversations with a twist. So, grab your favorite drink, get comfy, and join me on this unique literary journey. Cheers! Thank you so much, Tess, for joining me on this episode of On the Air with Florenza, where in just a few minutes we're going to talk about your debut novel, Learning to Whistle, which, oh my gosh, I do hope that it is optioned for a movie because it would be so spectacular to see this book as well as the experience of reading it. But we're going to get into all that. We are. So we're going to toast to an amazing show, and you came ready.
I did.
Oh,
I have
now.
my pink water. I drink lots of water. So this is sparkling water.
Wink, wink. Tess
Right.
says it's sparkling water.
You can always
Okay.
add vodka to it, right?
Yes. Well, here you go. Cheers. This is my second interview today, and I'm not gonna lie, I kind of cheated. I had one red wine in there at first, and it had like a fizz to it. And I love the brand Menage a Trois. It's one of their wines, and I had never known it to have that fizz, and I didn't like the fizz.
Oh,
So I have a bottle back there of something else that I threw on top of it.
oh, okay. So you have a mixed drink.
A very mixed drink, and it's actually not so bad. Now, Tess, tell us a little bit about yourself and about your newest book, Learning to Whistle.
Okay. So here's my book, Learning to Whistle. I love the cover. It's
Yes.
it's a mountain in Machu Picchu, and Machu Picchu, which is a sacred place in Peru, is down here on the bottom of the cover. I was born in Sacramento, California, but when I was 9, my parents moved the family to England
Oh,
because my father was in the Air Force. And so for 4 years, I went to English schools and studied English literature and was forced to enter writing contests, things that I never did here. And I fell in love with writing and poetry and ballads and the stories of the royalty, the countryside, the beautiful English countryside. And then I came back here and I was a changed person.
uh-huh.
And I stayed very literary um, through high school, but I got to college, and at that time, you just couldn't be whatever you wanted if you
Yeah.
were a woman. So
Hmm.
I chose accounting because I knew I could get a job in accounting,
Hmm.
and I wanted to be independent. I didn't want to be dependent on
Yeah.
anyone else.
Hmm.
So I did that. I was successful, didn't love it. And so when I had children, I went back into writing journalism and eventually got another degree in English and became an English professor. So writing all that time, but never a novel. I never had
Hmm.
enough bandwidth in my heart and my head to write a novel because I think I was still struggling with who I was.
Yeah.
Certainly I was, since I wasn't the writer that I always should have been from the
Hmm.
very beginning.
Hmm. Hmm. And it's such a different life. My husband served 31 years in the Army, and I was with him the entire 31 years. And our daughters were born into the military. They graduated high school with him being in the military. Our older daughter graduated, actually, both of the girls graduated undergrad with him still in the military.
Oh,
And
wow.
my older daughter graduated grad school with him still in the military. So that was like their entire life. And
Yes.
so it is such a difference. And do you sometimes think of how differently Tess would have been had you not moved away during those early years to experience life in such a different place than what you would have had you remained in the US?
I think I would have been very different. I come from a family of 10 children,
Oh,
and of all of us 10 children, I think I was the most marked by our time there, because I fell in love with England. And I mean, it's not that I love rainy weather,
right, right.
but it's just so beautiful,
It
and the
is.
stories are so deep and cultivating. And I brought that back and never gave it up. But, my other sisters and brothers don't feel that way. I think maybe it was their
Yeah.
ages. Maybe I was a very formative age for that.
Oh, yes. Well, we are thankful that you went away and came back with all of this loveliness that we get a chance to enjoy. So let's talk about Leonie. Leonie doesn't just lose her mother, she loses the version of herself that existed before the loss. When you started writing her, were you more interested in exploring grief or identity after grief?
I was interested in exploring how you could grow from things like grief. And of course, when you grow, that is about your identity and how it
Mhm,
changes.
mhm,
So, um, I put her in positions where she would meet these different people and they would challenge her to grow, or they would make her think.
mhm.
And I think she was very successful along her journey, picking up new friends, new mentors, and making them a part of herself, a part of her new self. And I did that because I want to be a voice for women. I think even today, and I know this because I taught a lot of young women who still felt a lack of confidence and a lack of the feeling of equality. They didn't
Mhm,
feel they were equal or they had equal chances. Even today, I think
mhm,
that exists.
mhm.
So I want to be a voice for women to say, we can do this. This is one way to do it. This is how you can plow through, but we've got to do it.
Yes, do the hard work. Get in the messiness and do the work.
Yeah. And don't let anyone stop you.
Absolutely, absolutely. There's something brave about choosing South America as the emotional landscape of this novel. Why Argentina? Why Peru? And what did those places allow Leonie to discover that home never could?
I think travel does always give you opportunities for new thinking.
Yeah.
And the connection to Argentina started because she had this Spanish professor at UC Davis, and an opportunity came up. And so it could have been another opportunity, but it was this opportunity to take a class in Buenos Aires. And so she took it, which shows the beginning of her courage, because she didn't feel that she was prepared to do that. But she does eventually agree to do it, and then she goes down there and does it. Peru, I love spiritual places, and Peru has to be one of the most spiritual places in the world. And Machu Picchu is a spiritual destination for a lot of people. And I wanted to connect uh, spirituality to uh, her ability to grow. And so that's why Peru is so much a part of the story.
Now, have you visited Peru? I know that you said your daughter had an opportunity to live there. Was she there for multiple years? And if near there, did you visit while she was there?
I did not visit. I did all of my research. I have a lot of friends who are from Peru and from Argentina, actually. And my daughter was there for 2 years and she climbed Machu Picchu. Um, she did the journey that Leonie does.
Hmm.
It's not her journey,
Right.
because they don't do the same things.
Uh-huh.
But I was exposed to the culture with her. And the other thing is, Argentina is a very Catholic country, and
Hmm.
I was brought up in a Catholic environment. So I really understand what's it like to go into a church here and a church here and a
Yeah,
church here.
yeah,
I've been to all over Europe and in churches. And so I combined that to the visit of spiritual places and did a lot of research. And people who have been there say, I feel like I'm there. And
yeah.
I'm thinking, that's good.
That's a good thing. Do you plan to ever visit now that the book is published and you is out there? Do you have a desire to want to try at least trace those steps yourself?
Yes, not the exact steps, but next January, my husband and I want to go on a cruise to South America.
Good
So
for
we'll go to
you.
Argentina and Chile, and I would love to go to Machu Picchu as well at the end of that trip. So we'll have to see if that works out.
Well, make sure you take a copy of your book and you take a photo of you reading it there.
Oh
That would
yeah,
be
that would be.
fabulous.
Actually, I'm going on a cruise in a few days, and I'm going to take my book and photograph it everywhere.
Everywhere you go. And we were just talking about this. Your descriptions feel sensory: food, wine, language, mountain air. Was it important that Leonie's healing happened through the body and senses before it actually took place through her words?
I think that is important. You can only be present in your body.
Mm,
And so, or you have to start being present in your body. And so you have to appreciate what you're eating, what you're drinking, what you're working on, how the grapevines feel in your hands, how the dirt feels in your hands. So I agree with that statement that it started in her body and then she was able to bring it into her spirit.
yeah, yeah, I appreciate that. As a former English professor, which has me on pins and needles,
It does that
I
to everybody.
I know. I recently interviewed, oh my Lord, where's my book? Well, I have to look for it in a second. But she's also an English professor, and I just thought, oh, what am I doing?
Well, I'm married to a man that doesn't speak very good English, at least not in my book. So I'm used to people butchering English.
Try not to quite butcher it, but blame it on alcohol. No, anyway. As a former English professor, was there ever a moment where your teacher brain wanted structure, but your storyteller said, no, let her wander?
Not since I retired, that hasn't happened. But when I was teaching, that was a constant problem. Because, if you're teaching how to write an essay, that's very structured.
Yeah.
And you've got to be in that mode, that teaching mode, as soon as you drive that car on campus and you open the door, a student's going to walk up to you and start talking to you. So I do believe that my job as a professor hindered my ability to let my creativity go. But since then, I've made a concerted effort to be free,
Yes.
and it's amazing. It's just amazing. I remember I wrote a second novel and I didn't know the ending and I was struggling. I was pretty confident with the story, but I did not know the ending. And all of a sudden, I'm writing a scene, and my character tells me what the
Yes.
ending's going to be. And it worked beautifully.
Yes.
Yeah. But I
They
don't think
know.
that would have happened if I had tried to outline every action and every scene. I'm
Yes.
not an outliner.
Yeah. No, no. I let the characters tell me. No. Leonie doesn't heal because someone rescues her. She heals because she keeps moving. Was that intentional from the start?
Yes, because I believe travel is a very healing process, or it can be.
Mhm.
And so I gave her these ambitions that she had to she had to stay away from her home to explore, to find out that to find things out, to find things that she never even imagined, to see things that she never imagined, or new situations that
Mhm.
would not have come up in her life if she wasn't traveling. So the travel was created at the very beginning of the book.
Yeah.
I also gave her obstacles. For example, she didn't have a lot of money, so she had to work.
Hmm.
And so that created her having to go work in the winery, which in a way is travel by
Yeah.
itself through the seasons.
And that's what I appreciated is in her journey, it wasn't this quick fix type of book where somebody comes and rescues her. I'm so tired. I mean, let me just say, there's a place for those stories. And I appreciate that there are people who love the damsel in distress, the white knight coming to rescue. But for the rest of us,
I used to read those when I was a teenager. I read probably all of them.
I could never get into it. I just always felt that no one was ever going to come rescue me. And it was going to be my responsibility. And this is crazy because my husband and I have been together 45 years. So, but
Congratulations.
thank you, but he still knows. I don't expect you to come rescue me. Come kill the spider, son, but that's it.
Well, I don't expect my husband to rescue me. Um, is he a wonderful partner? Oh, yes, he's
Yes,
great. He's my equal in his intuition and his empathy. That's what I love him for. But
yes,
I want to rescue myself. It's
yes.
longer lasting.
We could sit and talk about that part of this forever because I really think that's what has been lost and why we are struggling. We started talking earlier about you write so that you can empower women and you want to be that voice to strengthen women and to say, listen, you're built for this. But if everything that we're receiving, even through entertainment, is telling us contrary to that, no matter how many times we stand in front of a mirror and we recite affirmations and we hold up the signs and we wear it, on our clothing, input will eventually affect output. And so
Right.
we have to pull in those stories that are going to empower us, not make us man haters and not make us
No, not at all.
bitter, but take it away. Take it away.
Well, not at all, but to make us women lovers
Yes.
and women appreciators who don't need a man to rescue them.
Yes.
And my stories, I know that there are many stories about young men that go off and make their life in the world. How about a lot of stories about women doing the
Yes.
same thing?
Yes.
There just aren't enough yet. It's
Yes.
getting out there. We're getting there,
Yes.
but we're still doing a lot of memoir
Hmm.
writing, which is a good thing for healing. But let's get some women out there to pave the way for courage
Yes.
and confidence
Yes.
and success.
Yes. Unapologetically.
Yes. Oh, very unapologetically.
That's one of the words that I've heard. I write under pen names, but one of the reviews or comments that I heard was, "Thank you for writing bold voices who don't feel a need to apologize for their choices." And so I appreciate that. And thank you for what you're doing with that. I got some more questions, but listen, we just got on a soapbox.
Okay.
That was good. One of the things that I wrote down, and I want to read this, and I kept looking over here because I jumped so far. I have questions here, and then I've got like a huge monitor, if you can see the reflection in my glasses, to where it's like
Oh,
six
okay.
pages of notes over here. So I have notes everywhere. I have like 6 pages here and pages here. One of the things that I wrote down regarding the book is that it's a coming of age, grief journey, travel fiction, emotional self discovery, and then I put the words think. The Secret Life of Bees meets Eat, Pray, Love, but
Mm.
younger, more emotionally raw, and centered on mother loss. And I think that really summed up my reading experience from the book. And what is it that you would want the reader to walk away with, having gotten to the last page, close the book, and hold it up because that's what they're going to do?
Oh, good.
What is that experience or what is that takeaway that you would hope that they have once the book is done?
Well, let me back up a little bit because my target audience for this book was 18 to like 35, mostly a single woman, but not necessarily single,
Hmm.
but young women who were getting out there in the world and struggling with self-confidence and struggling with not knowing where they were going, their destination,
Yes.
that kind of thing. But I found as I wrote the book that it really was a journey for any
Yes.
adult woman. Even a very thoughtful young woman
Hmm.
would be able to enjoy the fact that I need to go on this journey and I need to grow and I need to figure out myself. Um, but at the end of the book, when they hold the book up to their heart, I want them to think, my life does not have to be perfect, but it can be good
Oh,
because I can make it good.
yes. Ah, bravo, bravo, bravo. Tess, where are the listeners able to engage with you and connect with you and to become a fan?
I have an author Facebook page, and so I try to post as often as I can. I also have a website, tessperko.com, and a blog on WordPress where I write sometimes short stories, sometimes writing advice. Sometimes I write about my charity work that I do
Hmm.
because I think a big part of a strong woman is giving back to others. I think that's what makes you strong.
Yes.
So those are some of the places.
Excellent. So we're going to take a sip, you of your wink, wink, sparkling water, me of my grape juice that just happens to be fermented. So these are our rapid fire questions, and let's see. Oh, these are fun. Okay. Wine country or mountain trail?
Wine country. I live in California. So many vineyards. I love wine country. Everything about it. The food, the wine, the beauty of it, the rows of the grapevines, the roses on the edges of the grapevines.
Hmm.
You can tell I've been there a lot.
Yes. I think people are happier or appear to be happier that live near vineyards.
Really?
Yes, I think they just, I don't know if it's because they have access to alcohol as much, but they just seem to be happier.
Well, they're so peaceful looking. You know, those rows of grapevines.
Yes, love it. Poetry first or prose forever?
Oh, prose forever.
Oh, okay.
Poetry was first for me, but now I'm into prose and the creation of stories and the development of characters and the overcoming of the challenges. I am addicted to this part of my life. So, yes.
I love that. I was surprised with that answer. I'm glad I didn't wager on that one in our last one. One word Leonie would use to describe Tess.
I'm going to say trustworthy.
Ooh.
I would be like her Aunt Patty in the book.
Mm-hmm.
I think we would have a good relationship that way. Um, the kind of the relationship that I have with my own daughter. I'm not saying we always had a perfect relationship,
Yes.
But right now, my daughter's in her 30s. Wow, it's like I have this perfect daughter that admires me for advice, trusts me with her intimate stories, um, trusts me to tell her the best I can tell her. So that's where I would go. Yeah,
Oh,
trustworthy.
oh, and one bonus one because I had a question and I've been trying to find it. Um, and it was to the effect of if older Tess was sitting on the plane next to younger Tess from the beginning of the book, what advice would, oh, not Tess, Leonie, if older Leonie was
Oh,
sitting on the plane next to younger Leonie when she boarded the plane to go to Argentina, what
mhm.
would older Tess tell younger Tess about where that trip is actually going to take her?
She would say, go on your trip, travel, enjoy what you see and experience, and let it come into you as like good energy. And in the end, it's going to make you stronger and you will find happiness again, but you will create it for yourself.
Oh, that's so sweet. Oh, thank you for that, Tess. This has been so much fun.
Thank you.
And this wraps up another episode of On the Air with Florenza. You may follow me on all social media platforms under Florenza Lee or via my website at florenza.org. Until next time, cheers.